take a one-shot lead heading into Sunday. Controlled the shot superbly. Josh Berry, his first win on the Hotel Planner Tour.
Yeah, I'm absolutely buzzing.
Yes, after Josh Berry's eye-catching triumph in Kolkata, the Hotel Planner Tour steamed into the second half of its Indian swing with the Delhi Challenge. The backdrop to the drama this week is Classic Golf and Country Club, just southwest of New Delhi. Designed by the legendary Jack Nicklaus, this 18-hole championship layout rewards accuracy off the tee, with the back nine providing an advantage for the long hitters. Last year, four-time Hotel Planner Tour winner and recent DP World Tour winner John Parry claimed the first of 3 campaign wins here on his way to promotion. And hoping to turn heads this time around, an impressive new kid on the block.
Am I looking at you? A little bit of Lats in there too. Action.
List. Good shot for eagle there. There you go. Got it. Oh, yes. Unbelievable golf shot.
Yes, meet a man who's earning plenty of rave reviews of late, Danny List. In the space of 12 months, he's risen from qualifying school to the Hotel Planner, DP World and PGA Tours. He's clearly a man on a mission.
It was a huge dream and step for me to get my DP World Tour card, and that wasn't just, it just came out of nothing. It was just a product of a lot of hard work.
Yes, hard work indeed, and that was something that got him noticed by none other than Tiger Woods, who invited Danny to play at the Genesis Invitational.
In a signature event with all those, the biggest names in golf, especially being invited by Tiger to come out and play, and being able to sit down with him and chat with him a bit at lunch was incredible. It almost felt like I had to pinch myself. It didn't feel real. He's probably my biggest idol, so I was really nervous going into it, and yeah, I still get a little bit of goosebumps thinking about it, but he was super kind, just really, really good to me, and I'm really appreciative that he chose me to play in the field that week.
His burgeoning talent was just one of the reasons behind Tiger's invitation. Even though he flies the flag of Australia, Ghana also occupies pride of place in Danny's affections. It's a place with a distinct lack of golfing tradition.
You got it right on the head. It was very different. We didn't have a driving range in the country at the time, so I learned at my local golf course, and the conditions of the course were pretty subpar. It was overgrown fairways and sand greens, and I'm not sure, most people haven't putted on sand greens, but Google it. It's pretty special. I know they take a lot of pride in me. I was just back there a few weeks ago, and people just, they love talking about, we're just watching you on TV, and they really get a real sense of pride.
The nation has plenty to thank Danny for too. A few years back, he decided to start his own golf foundation and grow the game in a country so dear to his heart.
I was at the relatively newly built driving range and just doing a bit of practice over the holiday. And people just told me that, there's some kids that are in the local village that have taken an interest to golf, which was surprising for me because I'd never, myself growing up, there weren't really any other kids to play with at the time. So I just sent out a post on Instagram saying, hey, I'll host a free junior clinic. Just parents, bring your kids, show up, sort of expecting maybe 5, 7, 10 kids to turn up, and it ended up being around about 50 kids. Once I saw the natural talent they had and the swings and the love of the game, that was the impetus I sort of needed to start a foundation, which was really just started off as me bringing clubs over from the States, where I live now, and giving them to these kids, or things that people would donate. And then it grew into hosting golf tournaments, and then eventually just kept on growing to the point where now we have a lot of kids involved with us, and we're sending kids overseas to compete for extended periods of time.
An amazing outcome, an amazing impact, proving golf isn't just a sport, it's a community. And Danny List has been able to give people a chance to change their lives through the sport he loves.
I don't know where the inspiration came from, but now kids, they really know the amazing pathways a life in golf can give you. So I'm really proud of all the kids and their passion for the game and how hard they work. It's hard to put into words, but this is the foundation at this point is as important, if not maybe more than my own golf career. So it's really cool.
It's safe to say that Danny List is making waves in the game, on and off the course. And getting that balance right is clearly important.
Back onto your own career, what does the future hold for Danny List?
We're yet to see.
Well, we'll be watching Danny's career development with keen interest, starting right here, right now, as Danny teed it up for the second time on the Hotel Planet Tour. However, it wasn't the best of starts. A bogey on the first, and already on the back foot. But then, following 5 consecutive birdies from the 5th, List was very much back in the groove. After some ups and downs on the way in, Danny would wrap things up in style from the sand. A birdie at the last for an opening round of 67 and a tie for 8th place.
Yeah, happy to put myself where I am at the moment, and just looking forward to hopefully putting it together a few more decent rounds.
So, rested and raring to go again, a morning tea time offered Danny and co the chance to make the most of untouched greens as he tried to post a second round score for the rest to chase. Things didn't go fully according to plan though. 3 of those much sought after birdies were balanced by a couple of rather less welcome bogeys. As pressure mounted in his bid to climb the Delhi leaderboard, Danny started to feel the heat. Elsewhere, others were finding that forward momentum and flourishing. Having tied for second the previous week, Lukas Nemeth was in the mood again. A second round 64 saw the Austrian join 3 others at the summit. Meanwhile, Danny was forced to dig deep, and he persevered, returning home with a second round 71, comfortably above the cut line and within 5 shots of the lead.
It felt like a bit of a weird day for me. thought I hit quite a few good shots that didn't really pan out as I thought, but it shouldn't hurt me too much. It was a fairly solid day overall. I'm sort of in a position where I can get pretty aggressive and attack a bit, so we'll kind of see where the leaderboard shakes out later today. And
Is that the best way to tackle this course, being aggressive?
in the third round, on moving day, probably, yeah.
Coming up on the show, it's India's passion, cricket, but not as we know it. And time to shine. Who found the right plan of attack to lift the silverware at the Delhi Challenge? We'll see you after the break. Welcome back to the Delhi Challenge, part 2 of our Indian swing on the Challenge Tour. 2 rounds in, and there was a 4-way tie at the top, with last week's champion Joshua Berry among those jostling for position. But strange things can happen on moving day. Waiting to see who found the right formula was Josh Amber.
2 bogeys on the week for Josh Berry. Last week's champion was continuing that red-hot form at the Delhi Challenge. Birdies just kept on coming, that at the opening hole on Saturday. Great start for last week's champion. One of the 4 leaders overnight, Robin C.O. Segrist, bogeyed the opening hole to drop 1 back from that group early in round 3. Fantastic approach there at the third for the left-hander. First year on the Hotel Planet Tour for Will Hopkins, top 40 last week in Kolkata, and was going along nicely here. Birdie at the 4th, took him to 11 under par and right up there in contention with the leaders. C.O. Segrist, after that lovely approach at 3, converted the birdie putt to get back to 11 under par. Plenty of volunteers helping out with the tournament. Perfect conditions as well for the players. At the 5th, C.O. Segrist, tee shot at the par 3. It was a bunched leaderboard on Saturday. This tee shot from C.O. Segrist, one of the best of the day. He would hold that and go into a 1-shot lead. Will Hopkins, this to finish the front 9 in style. That was for eagle to get to 12 under par. The 3rd round of 70 for Hopkins, and he finished the day in a tie for 6th. Last week in Kolkata for Maximilian Steinlecker. And another player who took the good form into the Delhi Challenge. 6 birdies on his back 9 in round 3, which included this at the last. 65, and he finished the day in a tie for 3rd. Danny List also made a birdie on the final hole to get to double digits. A real mixed bag for List on Saturday. 7 birdies and 3 bogeys for a 68 and a tie for 10th with 18 to play. Another of the overnight leaders was Quim Vidal, and he was putting a sensational round together. This his 4th birdie of the day at the 15th, and was now well out in front, but the birdie charge didn't finish there for Vidal. Plenty watching on. This is 2nd at the 16th. A 2-shot lead at this point on Saturday over 3 players for Vidal. Playing a high draw into 16 for his approach. And what an approach it was. Incredible shot from Vidal. 3 birdies in a row for the Spaniard. A little bit of a lead for himself at the top of the leaderboard. He tapped this one in for birdie at the final hole. A faultless Saturday 66 for Vidal. A 3-shot lead taken to Sunday, looking for his maiden win on the Hotel Planet Tour.
Yes, Vidal looking good and putting himself in exactly the right place 3 rounds in. Kolkata champion Josh Berry was going well again in 2nd, 3 shots back. Our man Danny List still in the picture too. Now, when in Rome, or indeed in this case Delhi, in a place in which cricket is king, we thought we would embrace India's national obsession and integrate the nation's favourite sport into our players' preparation.
That's a cricket thing?
Yeah.
It's like elevated. The tee's almost higher than the stumps already.
We want to smash it, don't we? I'm Latin, so we don't know anything about cricket.
Oh.
I'm just going to try and hit it as low and as hard as I can.
That was low.
It's low enough.
Just trying to hit a stinger with the driver.
That was so close.
So full swing. Now I have the 3-iron.
Get it.
No, I actually flushed that, but
About as good as it'll get, really.
Oh my god. I don't fucking hit it low enough before. Close. Oh, that doesn't count. Come on.
that counts.
Does not count.
What?
It's my first ball of the day. So.
Okay.
Let's go.
That's great. We should do this every week.
And nice to see our Hotel Planator players weren't stumped by that test. But now, back to business. Who would rise to the occasion when it came to more familiar territory? And the final round of the Delhi Challenge. Josh has all the answers.
It was another up and down round for our feature player this week, Danny List. Only 8 pars on the day on Sunday. This a birdie at the first. He'd signed for a 70 and would finish in a tie for 15th. Good week for the Australian. Last week's champion Josh Berry started the day 3 shots back of Vidal. He made an early move with this birdie at the second hole, the par 3. Only just 19 years old, Josh Berry. Already a winner last week, looking to go back to back. So birdie at the third for Steinlechner, and that was followed up by this birdie on the 4th. Another great week for the Austrian, a tie for 4th, and back-to-back top 5s for Maximilian. After his birdie at the second, Berry then birdied the par 5 third hole, and he made it 3 birdies on the back 9 with this game at the 8th. Quim would bogey the same hole, and it was now tied at the top, both players at 16 under par. Dutchman Lars van Meel was having a day on Sunday. Out in 32, which included 4 birdies, he then birdied the 12th, and in 14 produced this to set up another birdie chance. Plenty watching on the final day. Van Meel started the day 6 shots back. He'd hold this for 14 for birdie to take the lead. However, a bogey on the 17th would prove crucial as he'd finish 1 shot shy. Time was running out for Josh Berry. He needed to make something happen. And on the penultimate hole, the par 3 17th produced this stunning tee shot. Almost an ace for Berry. Had no birdies on the 17th all week. A few of the other players watching on. A formality for birdie. A huge moment for Berry, looking to go back-to-back on the Hotel Planator. Vidal had produced nothing all day, 16 pars and 1 bogey for the Spaniard. But he had this for eagle on the 72nd hole. What a putt, what a time for Quim Vidal to produce that at the final hole. Incredible drama at the Delhi Challenge. It was left to Josh Berry. He needed this to force a playoff. And for the second week in a row in India, Josh Berry finds himself in a playoff for back-to-back titles.
So, confirmation of that final leaderboard. Van Meel and Jelly came good when it really mattered, and Max Steinlechner was prominent too. But that late drama meant extra holes for Vidal and Berry.
had exchanged birdies on the first 2 playoff holes. Great second shot into the green for Vidal on the third. This for eagle, just short for the Spaniard. It was a similar putt in regulation that he had on the 72nd hole. So he tap in for birdie, and Josh Berry was left with a birdie putt himself. Could he produce and make them go down 18 once again? There were plenty watching on, watching the drama unfold. So Berry needed this to go to a 4th playoff hole. It wasn't to be. A 3-shot lead at the start of the day slowly withered away, but he produced magic at just the right time, and Quim Vidal has his maiden title on the Hotel Planet Tour.
Box name, Quim Vidal.
I'm very excited, man. It's really nice. It's a pleasure. I mean, I was not expecting this after the tough day I had, but I'm super happy, man. I don't know what to say.
Well, the Spaniard did his talking on the course. Vidal victorious, and it's seen him steam into the top 5 on the road to Mallorca rankings. Josh Berry's up to 2nd spot, behind early 2-time winner Daniel Van Tonder. Lower down, Lars Van Meel is up to 11th, with Filippo Celli settling in nicely in 15th place. And Scotland's David Law is hanging on to 20th place for now. So our 2-week Indian adventure is at an end, with 2 more happy winners to add to the Hotel Planet Tour Roll of Honour. After a brief break to recharge, the Hotel Planet Tour returns in a couple of weeks with a fortnight in the UAE. See you then.